slowly approaching the end of the year. It is the 24th as of today. So that being said, it is time to do an end of year book tag. So we will be getting that done, and you guys will be finding out a lot of my favorite things, my least favorite things in books this year that I've read, and etc. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I have everything listed right here. So if I glance back, I'm looking at the list because I had thoroughly planned this out. So that way I would be able to get my thoughts on paper before I started speaking to the camera. And so we're going to start out with question 1, which is new favorite author from this year. So I actually have 3 favorite authors from this year. However, 2 of them are conjoined. So we're going to start off with Krista and Becca Ritchie, who wrote the Calloway Sisters series, as well as the Addicted to You series. So that one I loved. That was my first books by them, reading them. And honestly, I'm in love. They're so good. I really love their writing. I love the way they flesh out the characters. Like, love how even though you have the main 6, right, and they have to focus on every single couple, every character, they do a good job even though there is like 6 main characters that they have to flesh out. And so that being said, they did a very good job on focusing on each character as well, like every bit, to make them seem like human, you know? They were well-rounded, they weren't flat characters, so that I really appreciate. And, you know, they're just my favorite authors of this year. So another favorite author that I have this year is Rebecca Yarros with the Empyrean series. Obviously that could change because I've only read 2 books by her as of currently, which is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Mostly Iron Flame anyways. And I just really enjoy the writing style. I definitely am enjoying the first book more than I'm enjoying the second book in that series, but it is still a good series nonetheless. I feel like she fleshes out her characters, she adds tension, she does the scenes really well. And with somebody who's starting to get into fantasy, I think that's good, especially because she doesn't use the complicated fantasy terms, so you can easily go your way into that series without having to have the knowledge of other fantasy books. So the next one, we're bringing this up again, my most favorite read of this year, which is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. And it was my first and favorite fantasy book right now. I have not read much more in the fantasy genre, but right now, like, this is like the book, you know? I rated it 5 stars, you know? I love Violet. I love her character growth so much that we've already had since book 1. And I love Xaden. I love the romance. There's so much tension. I enjoy them being each other's halves. I enjoy the plot. The storyline is so good. I feel like there's only a few moments where I'm like, you know? There's only a few moments where I don't like what's happening or it's slow dragging on, which I feel like we have more of those moments in Iron Flame so far. But of course, they're still both good books. I understand that the stuff in Iron Flame is necessary to the plot line, so I'm not going to complain too much because I know that what's there is needed. Alright, so Miss Disappointing Read of the Year, More Than Words by Mia Sheridan. I'm not going to lie, I kind of hyped the book up a little bit when I read it because it was Mia Sheridan. I really enjoyed Archer's voice by her, but however, it didn't live up to that. And it kind of sucks because that was one of the books that I was waiting to read for so long too. And I felt like it didn't live up to that 5-star hype that I gave Archer's voice. And it just felt slow. I felt like not a lot happened in that book. So I don't remember anything of what happened in that book. So I cannot even give you like a good review because I don't remember shit. I just know I gave it like 3 stars, I think. It was either 2 or 3 stars, and I really struggled to get through it, honestly. Alright, favorite new book couples of this year. So I have 3 book couples that I absolutely love. And that would be Vectel and Georgie from Ice Planet Barbarians. And I have to say that because they're the most fleshed out couple from that series. And that book was honestly like so good. I enjoyed it so well. That is the only book in the series so far that I gave 5 stars, honestly. And I'm still reading the series. I'm about halfway through the series. But Vectel and Georgie, I feel like every single time you get them in this series, you just get that loving feeling, and it's so cute. I love those characters so much. And then we also have Reich and Daisy from Addicted/Calloway Sister series. And I don't even want to hear it. Like, I know people are iffy about the age thing, and like, I have to say that he didn't act on it until she was 18, so I don't really care. Okay. Stella and Christian from Twisted series by Anna Huang. I love Christian. He's the right amount of grumpy when you have Stella as well as like a sunshine-ish character. I wouldn't say she's full-on sunshine, but you have these 2 characters and you have a fake dating trope, and it's so good, honestly. So good. I enjoy the characters. I really do. I love them. I love the series. Was it my favorite series? No. Which so many people love that series, but I was kind of just like disappointed with it a little bit. So like, I was quite disappointed. But that being said, moving on. Okay, so next we have favorite book to show adaptation. And I actually think I've only watched 2 book to TV adaptations. And that would be Where the Crawdads Sing and Daisy Jones and the Six. And out of those 2, I'm going to pick Daisy Jones and the Six because you know Daisy Jones is my girl. And honestly, that was the best adaptation I've seen of a book. Honestly. Like 100%, that is my girl. I will always pick Daisy Jones and the Six. My family loves the show, like, and you know, I've been in love with the book, so seeing that show come to life, and seeing my favorite band members, seeing Camilla, seeing Daisy, seeing the Billy circle triangle thing, and it's so full circle for me, and so I have a feeling that's going to be a favorite show of mine for quite a while. Books that made me cry this year. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say The Hunger Games. And you guys are gonna laugh because this is solely off technicality. Because my brain didn't compute what was happening in the book. And so it's the scene where Katniss and Peeta they changed the rules in The Hunger Games. So Katniss and Peeta are standing there in the thing. And Katniss and Peeta are holding the berries, and they're just like, we're gonna commit suicide with these berries, right? And then they get pulled out. But however, I didn't realize that was a scheme that Katniss created, and I genuinely thought they were gonna kill themselves. Which doesn't make sense logically, because there's 2 other books that include them. And basically go through their story, so I don't know why. I just immediately just start crying, bawling, and that didn't compute, you know? But it did. Alright, a scene that stuck with me the most. So for this one, I'm gonna have to say the Inheritance Games series. I don't remember which book it was. It's either the second one or the Final Gambit, which is the 3rd book. But my favorite scene that stuck with me from that series is when Grayson is in that room playing those violins and then just smashing them each time he gets the song correct. And he's just having this inner turmoil. And then you can see his anger, his sadness every single time he smashes the violin. And you can just see it revving up again every single time he plays a song. And I swear to God, it's the best scene in the series. I don't care what games were involved in that series. Like, that was the best scene in the series. Honestly. It's my favorite scene. because it really, really, really demonstrates the beauty of chaos. Because whenever I imagine that scene, I imagine dark room, light coming down on Grayson playing the violin with multiple violins around him, and I swear to God, every single time I think of that scene, I'm just like, I want that painted. I want that on a poster. Like, I want to have it, and I want to hang it up right there, right above my bed, so I can just appreciate what is Grayson Hawthorne. Still very upset she didn't pick Grayson, by the way. Like, why'd you pick Jameson? Why? Okay. Next up, my favorite series of the year. So we're coming back to the Addicted series / Calloway Sisters series and the Empyrean Brienne series by Rebecca Yarros. Those series are just so fleshed out. I feel like they're character driven as well, Empyrean Brienne is more plot driven, but Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, they're very character driven. There's not a lot that's happening, but with the things that are happening, you just become attached to the characters. And honestly, like, I'm like 4 books away from being done with the series of Calloway Sisters series, so I'm horrified. I just know I'm gonna cry at the end of that. And then moving on, series that I need to finish, which are the priority series that I need to finish. I didn't put all of them on here because then that would be crazy. So I need to finish The Hunger Games, and that one would be, I have to finish The Hunger Games, so I have to finish Mockingjay and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I need to start both of those and finish those, which I'm going to try to do that in the month of January. So that way I'm not trying to just shove a whole bunch of books in December, because we literally have like 5-6 days left of the month. And then the next one that I need to finish is the Knock 'Em Out series, which is the last book, Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. And that is Sloane's and Lucian's book, and honestly, I'm scared to start that one. I started it, and then I DNF'd it because I wasn't in the mood for it at that point in time, and that was solely on me, because I tried to read it when it first came out, and I just couldn't, because I wasn't in the mood for it. And you guys know I'm a mood reader, so I'm not going to be into anything if I'm not in the mood for it, you know? So I need to finish that one, and then I'll be completely done with the series. I'm going to try to get the paperback, because I have the paperbacks of all those books. I don't know if I'm going to annotate it, because I annotated the first 2, but honestly, like, with the second book of the Knock 'Em Out series, I dwindled within the last, like, 150 pages, and I didn't annotate anything, minus, like, the cute moments, and that was it. But I may or may not go back to annotating once I read Things We Left Behind, but I just know I didn't really enjoy Things We Hide from the Light that much, because I'm just not into the whole cop romance thing, so I didn't really enjoy that one as much. But hopefully that will turn around with Things We Left Behind. And then the last series I need to finish on priority is the Inheritance Game series, which is the Brothers Hawthorne that just came out. I want to finish it. I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know how she's going to do it, but I'm pretty sure I heard that, like, it just focuses on Jameson and Grayson and what they do after the whole Inheritance Games happens. And so that being said, I have no idea what that book's going to be about. But I just know I better read it, and then the series will be over, and then I'll be really, really sad. Okay. So, most overhyped book of the year, in my opinion, is Happy Place by Emily Henry. And I'm sorry, but just the plot fell flat for me. And I know that Emily Henry, she writes romance, but however, you kind of read them as more as literary fiction, because they're not your average romance books, so you have to read them as, like, literary fiction. But they're so good, but honestly, this one I just didn't vibe with. So that would be the 3rd Emily Henry book I've read. I still need to read Book Lovers and the rest of her catalog, but I loved Beach Read and People Will Meet on Vacation, so I thought I would like Happy Place, because it kind of had the same vacation premise, you know? But I didn't enjoy it, and it fell flat, and the characters, I felt like they weren't well fleshed out enough, and so yeah, crazy. And then we have Underhyped Book of the Year. And I'm just going to say it. We're obviously going to have different opinions about it. But The Holidays by Brittany C. Cherry was honestly, like, it wasn't bad for a holiday book. Like, honestly, I had a fun time reading it. I was laughing. I was having a good time with it. Do I remember much of what happened in that book? No. But I had a good time when reading it, you know? So that's all that matters. What was the longest book I read this year? So that one would be 848 pages, which being The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Honestly, didn't enjoy that book. Am I still going to read the rest of the series? Maybe. Because I would like to show off the fact that I read those books. Because have you seen The Priory of the Orange Tree? It's like that thick. And I read that all. And it's so thick. And it made me... I carried it around everywhere, honestly. And I shouldn't have done that. But, like, it was impressive to be carrying around a book that was, like, this thick, you know? Okay. So, shortest book I read this year, which this one, I don't even know if this one would count, but this is the one that I chose because it was, like, 10 pages. And it was a bonus epilogue. But I still counted it as a book, so it was Seducing My Guardian bonus content by Katie Robert. Do I remember anything from it? No, I do not. But it's read, and it was 10 pages, and it was the least amount read. Okay, so as of December 24th, which is today, how many pages did I read this year? So I read 42,033 pages this year, and my goal was 40,000, which I say that is a slag. That is an inside joke. You won't get that. How many books did I read this year as of December 24th? So, 161 fully finished books. I am still reading Iron Flame, so that is 162. I'm only 100 pages close from being done with that book. So it would be 162 books that I finish, if I finish that one this year. And then I'm also reading Say You Swear, and I'm 50% of that one by Megan Brandy. So if I can finish those, I would have been finished 163 books, and I don't think I'm gonna read for the rest of the year. So that way I have a little break, and then we go back into it. And then, so that way it will be more of like we get a break for reading, you know? It will be fun, you know? Because at least we'll get a little break from reading every single day for like a year. And yeah. And then, so my average rating for this year is 3.4. And then my current reads for this year are the ones I just said, Say You Swear by Megan Brandy and Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So that is all the questions I've had from this video. And so that is all you guys will know for the end of the year book tag. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys soon. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see particular books being read in 2024, let me know what those books are, and I will try to read them that year. Alright, so I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye-bye!